Hi, this is Rich from INCAT. This video features one farmer's approach to pre-harvest food safety procedures as well as food safety considerations before, during, and after harvest.
So after we've harvested into a tote, we use a small greens cutter machine. That comes back to the warehouse, and then once the product is emptied from that tote and processed through the cooling process and then bagged, we take those totes outside and the greens cutter outside and spray it off with potable water, and spray down the inside as well as the outside, so we want to get any dirt that's accumulated on the bottom in particular. And we have a setup where there's one area that we use to spray off the totes themselves, but also to spray off produce if it's outside, beets and carrots and other things that don't do particularly well inside the warehouse because they just get really messy. But then we have another section that's just 3 pallets stacked together where we don't step on those pallets. Those pallets are only for drying the greens totes or any other totes that we've used for harvest. So once they're sprayed off, then they get sprayed off with potable water. Then they get sprayed with a sanitizing solution, and ours is
Oxonia
active, which is primarily hydrogen peroxide is the active ingredient there. So they get sprayed with a light coating of the Oxonia active, mixed with water, diluted, and then they get stacked on those pallets that we don't step on, and set to dry. And usually within 24 hours they'll be dry because we're in Montana, and they get moved inside and are ready for harvest the next harvest day. And for the greens cutter, it's the same process. Spray it off, try to get any greens that have gotten stuck inside off of the machine, and scrub it down a little bit if needed, and then spray it with the sanitizer, and it sits to dry till it's dry, and then it comes inside and we use it next week.
So once we're done in the washing area, we need to sanitize everything that we used that harvest day, and also all the surfaces. And so we'll take the laundry bags that we spun the greens in and immerse them in diluted sanitizer solution and leave them for a moment so they can become disinfected. And then we'll also spray down all the surfaces in the washing area with that same disinfectant, and clean off any harvest knives we used, spray out the washing machine that we spun the greens in. Any surface that the vegetables are going to come in contact with needs to be cleaned and sanitized before it can be used again next harvest day.
Yeah, so we choose to do that at the end of the harvest day instead of at the beginning of the harvest day, and that way it's ready for the next harvest.
Okay. GAP asks you to sanitize your wash water, so add a sanitizing agent to the wash water. And I understand that when you're processing thousands of pounds of peppers in one day, it makes sense. But on our scale, I didn't want to apply sanitizer to a fresh salad green. And so we chose not to do that, and we developed a procedure to sort of clarify what the risk was, what risk we were taking, and then also clarify how we would deal with that risk. We move them through the sinks in cold water, then they're put in clean laundry bags, then they're put in the washing machine, put on spin cycle for about 3 minutes. They come out, they go in this sanitary bin, and then they go into a clean bag. And so we went through for all of our different products and vegetables and said, okay, how do we process these? And we divide them into 5 groups, and that's like the procedure that we follow every time.
Washing machines are really what we found as the absolute best thing for this. They do make industrial salad spinners. They are either very expensive or don't function great, or both. And washing machines, all you have to do is disconnect the timer. So the timer is what makes the style spin to the next section. Disconnect it, it stays on spin all the time. And so we flip them upside down and let them go again. Find that sometimes the arugula especially, but also the salad can get condensed in the bags, and if we fluff it up and flip it, then we can get it a lot drier and it lasts a lot longer.
So, in our wash house, we have various lighting fixtures, and they are all covered with plastic covers, as opposed to like these little guys that look sort of like they may be glass, but they're actually plastic. They don't want you to have any light fixtures over the produce that is glass. It could break and fall into the produce. So that is one step. I think they also accept like a metal cage around a glass light bulb as a protective measure.